Okay.
Nice.
All right, man. I got vinyl everywhere, man. Get this wax out the way. Man. The lab is labbing. Lab is definitely labbing, brother. All right, get comfortable, man. Okay. Got the games on in the back. So, yeah, man. We can get ready to start. 3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? It's your main man, Jay Sands on Sports, hip hop and sports entertainment at its finest. That's right, y'all. The big kid is at it again. Season 6, episode 110, I believe. So we're still cranking them out. Started in 2008, first hip hop sports podcast. Started here in Baltimore at the Sonar. Interviewed Royce the 5'9", debuted on allhiphop.com, got fired that day, but we still cranking them out on BUKA live television. And today in sports history, because we like to do today in sports history, special day for the Sanders family. This is the day Barry Bonds passed Babe Ruth in home run, 7/15, 2006. So today in sports history, my man, Big B, was putting in work. So got a guess. It was a tricky thing because this is a run back, because we actually did this interview maybe a few months ago, about 6 months ago or whatever, and Jay Sands forgot to hit the record button because we know I am good for that. So this brother is in the didn't hit record button Hall of Fame right here, and I am talking about DJ Mick. Mick, how are you doing today?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm pretty cool, man. I keep 100, man. I got COVID, man. I tested positive for COVID yesterday. I went to Ohio for my niece's graduation, and coming back, and then I get the text from one of my family members, yo, we got COVID. So then I'm like, damn. And I'm got a little chill, not really big chills. To me, COVID is like a punk ass flu. That's what it is, at least for me when I experience
it. Now it is. I mean, I think a lot of people had a different example the first time around, but
right.
Yeah. But congratulations. I mean, I heard when you get it now, it's like winning the lottery. So.
Yeah, honestly it is, because guess what? I don't have an appetite, so I might lose, fuck Ozempic, I might lose a few pounds from COVID. So
Ozempic.
Yeah, Ozempic. I'm drinking, shout out to Costco, I'm drinking their honey lemon tea or whatever with the lemon pills in it, yo. So it's going down here in the Sanders household. So we ran through this on the first interview, but again, we can't act like we did an interview before. This is the original.
Let's do it. Let's start.
Yeah, we need all the info again, my brother. So can you give us a quick 20-second bio about yourself?
Sure. My name is Mick. I'm a DJ. I'm a dad. It's actually my favorite part of my life. I do other things. I studied angel investing in companies just because I was around a lot of interesting things being a DJ. And that led to like more DJing stuff, ironically. So like I just kind of figured out how to like extend a DJ career while creating a personal brand that's like super authentic to me. And I'm grateful because I'm 46, 45 when you didn't press record, and 46 now. And I don't think my career is really in any danger of ending anytime soon. And I'm appreciative of that, because I don't think when I was 30 or 25 or even 35, I would have thought that I would still be DJing at this age and it'd still be possible, because we can get into this later, but like to have a success as a DJ in like longevity terms, like in our world, like you either have to be like a name brand legend or an icon, like a Jeff or a Pete Rock or like a Clark Kent or a D Nice, or like somebody who's like has a just like impeccable track record within the culture and is a name brand, or you have to be somebody that's like so niche as an artist. Like you see a lot of like the cool like EDM dudes or like the Kaytronadas of the world, or a lot of the selection dudes. And me, I don't have any of those. I'm not on either of those buckets, but I've found like my own kind of little world to kind of like occupy and play music I like and make people happy. And I'm very grateful that it's still going on, and I think it's going to continue to go on.
Well, I tell you what, usually I will push this to later, but I want to ask it because I don't want to forget, man. I just took a few puffs, bro, so I don't want to forget this question.
That sounds COVID
Oh
friendly.
yeah. It's definitely against the COVID protocol. But so you mentioned some of the DJs, right? And these DJs are artists where they're actually put like Clark Kent's making beats or so and so. So that kind of keeps them relevant in a way, you know, like they're actually producing or whatever. So how do you adjust because you're not like producing, you're
No.
not doing stuff like that.
Um, I don't know. It's a great question. Like I've realized that I'm just gonna ultimately be a DJ that doesn't put out my own product, you know, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I've tried that in various phases throughout the course of my life, and nothing's really stuck to it. So I've kind of just like realized that's not my path. Now, of course, like if we go back like 20 years ago to like my mixtape heyday,
Yeah.
those were, I guess, kind of like putting out product. And my mixtape heyday was great, and it got me to go from Ohio to New York, and it got my name out from college radio through, all the way to Canal Street, you know. So it just that I guess counts in that regard. But also like that was very very early times, like. That was like a 10-year hustle of that.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a producer DJ. I never wanted to be like an artist DJ. I never wanted to be a DJ that like plays my own shit on stage.
Yeah.
That's just never like something that appealed to me.
Yeah.
I loved working with artists during the mixtape era, and then one day I woke up and I was like, I don't really want to do that ever again, because like as you know, like working with other creatives is challenging. It's hard. I mean, it's rewarding. It's all. I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? It's the most rewarding of all rewarding when it goes right, and it's the most annoying fucking shit in the world when it goes wrong. I mean, sometimes you don't know until it happens, you know?
Yeah, because you said K Tronada, right? I didn't even know dude was a DJ. I just got hip to him maybe a year ago or whatever, and I'm just thinking he's a producer. I'm just finding out he's a DJ while you just said it. You know what I mean? So that's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he became a DJ after the fact, but like, I mean, I think it's all kind of the same for people of that level of skill. Like the way he creates his amazingness, like it just sounds like a fun, bouncy DJ set, which what he creates, you know. But I would say that, like, I say that more so to say that, like, you know, DJs that produce their own songs obviously have a built-in audience to fill an arena or a club or a venue. And like I could tell you right now, if I was like, I'm doing a free party in Bushwick, Brooklyn, in this warehouse, and I'll pay you to go, like nobody would go. Like, but and that's fine. And it took, and you know, that was also a very interesting thing to figure out through my life too. Like, why is my career not like that when my friends have careers like that, or my idols have careers like that? And you know, at one point it made me want to just like quit the whole thing totally. But then I kind of like zoomed out and was like, but what makes me the best me? And then I just kind of like double down on all that stuff. And then that's when it really started working for me.
Okay, and again, this is supposed to be a 20-second bio, man. We didn't kill the 20-second bio.
I love it. This is it's like jump right in, you know?
So what you're explaining is, because I go through it myself, in this artistic balance, this game, this business, when you're a creative, you have to have blinders on. As far as if you do too much peeking in the other lane, you'll get left behind. Like you're happy, hey, Pete Rock can do a set. You're happy, Bob Beto, but you can't worry about what they're getting. You gotta focus on what Mick is getting. That's what really. I mean, you can admire it. You can you know, even maybe take a little piece from it. But at the end of the day, you gotta have these blinders on, man, and not be too focused on what others are getting. You can't be worried that Drake got 400 million. You gotta worry about your 400 fans. You know what I mean? And get it like that. But anyway, man, favorite team starting with football.
Not really a big football fan. I pretty much only watch the Super Bowl, but locally in New York, I guess kind of like the Jets, because the green. My son likes the green. But I will say this, and I think I probably told you this last time, but if I didn't, you'll find this interesting, because I grew up an hour away from Pittsburgh in Youngstown, Ohio, which was also an hour from Cleveland, and we had to choose Browns or Steelers growing up. It was like a civil war. Actually, it was weirder than a civil war. It was a tri-Civil War or whatever, because the owners of the 49ers were from Youngstown. So our town was split three ways. It was split Browns, Steelers, 49ers. And for no other reason except for geography and hometown pride. So like growing up, like I was never a Browns fan. I kind of did like the Steelers more as a kid. And then when I realized that like we had like one billionaire in our tiny little town of Youngstown, Ohio, that owned every shopping mall in the world and a team that was winning all these Super Bowls when I was young, I probably started to skew that way. So that was a really interesting thing of growing up, because we didn't have a hometown team. We had three.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, because I know you got the Pittsburgh situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was never up there. Anyway, we ain't got to go into that. Mob ties. The reason I'm bringing up mob ties because Youngstown's known as a gangster ass city, and Drake, they just outed Drake they did the preview track that he recorded his song Mob Ties. But anyway, you just said Youngstown and made me think of mob ties. Do you have any mob ties?
I have no mob ties. I have no mob ties.
No mob ties in Youngstown?
I don't. I ate pasta once downtown Youngstown. It was very good.
Right.
That's the closest I got.
Got you. Okay, what about baseball? What's your favorite baseball squad?
You know what? I'm actually DJing at Citi Field for the Mets this week, so I'm gonna say the Mets.
Wow.
I don't know. I could tell you. I don't really follow baseball either, to be honest with you. But however, we can talk about basketball all day, because
that's coming up. That's my thing. Damn, that's coming up.
The Mets are playing the Diamondbacks on Friday, and I got the DJ for them last year too at Citi Field, and it's just an incredible experience. Playing for, it's like 30,000 people in that arena, and that's like that stadium, and they have that huge like jumbotron screen. I think it's like one of the biggest in baseball, if not the biggest in baseball. It's fucking huge, and I go in there and I just do me, like I'm playing like the Queensbridge songs and shit, because I'm in Queens. I'm gonna play Nas, I'm gonna play Tribe, I'm gonna play LL. Like I don't care, and it just is like, that bring me into that world, and it kind of pops off. So like they were kind enough to ask me to come back. So I'm going Mets all day.
Hey man, check it out. Jay Sands is going to be the hype man, one of the baseball DJs. One of them. So basketball. Who do you got in basketball? Who's your favorite basketball squad?
I'm a diehard Celtics fan, man, since like fourth grade. I have a 86 championship paperweight replica. It's my uncle gave me this when I was in elementary school, and I've had it on my desk ever since then. It's heavy as fuck. It definitely would turn your finger green if you put your fingers in it, but like it's not gold. I'm sure this thing was $20, but it's probably my favorite possession of my whole life, because it's just like, it's so cool.
Well, hold up. When you was DJing for the Cavs, did they know that when they was banging against the big three?
I didn't tell them.
Oh, okay.
And then Cavs were my number two, because of course, like, I came up in Northeast Ohio and went to college in Cleveland, and I had a great relationship with LeBron and all those guys from the beginning. And so like the Cavs were always my number two. They were my number one unless we were playing the Celtics. But I'll tell you, I don't know if I ever said this in an interview, like whenever the Cavs would play the Celtics and I had to wear all these like Cavs shirts that they would pass out before the game, I would wear green socks or like green underwear. I would do like a little like subliminal,
Yeah.
Just to like keep my personal fandom alive.
Oh man, so you're happy. Anyway, we'll go later for that. We're going to that, man. Also, what sports did you play growing up in Northeast Ohio?
I didn't really play a lot of sports. I was a pretty husky and chunky child. Didn't really have a lot of athletic ability. I rode my bike around the block. I played basketball in my driveway. Yeah. I was like never like good enough or fit enough to make a team.
Yeah.
The coach was always like, "You're just too fat to make the team." That's pretty much what they always told me, which is like fucked up.
Yeah.
But, like, it is true, and it worked out because I think about that often. Like I got cut from my 7th grade basketball team, my 8th grade basketball team, and my 9th grade basketball team that I stopped trying.
Yeah.
But those were my formative years for music. Those were the years where I started playing in marching band and jazz band and symphonic band. And those were also the years where I started taking drum lessons on my own. And those were the years where hip hop really were like, this is 92, 93, 94, which was like, the basement of my existence as far as like falling in love with this culture. Even go back 91, 95, like that whole span is still like the ethos of what made me. And so I think about that often. Like if for some reason I would have made that basketball team, maybe I said fuck band. And because I would have been playing in the games, not sitting in the stands playing drums, right? And so I think about that very often. And then if that didn't happen, maybe I didn't stay delved into the music like I did. And if I didn't stay that, then maybe I didn't teach myself how to DJ one summer. And then maybe this never happens for me. And instead, I got 1 year of JV 8th grade basketball. Like what a good trade,
Exactly, man. I think I've been cut from teams, and you just think about it like, man, well, maybe it was for the best, And I think one thing is like nowadays, man, the kids, they take disappointment so heavy. I guess because it'd be on social media too. They're talking about it, but it's just, yeah, man. Hey, you get cut, you get traded. Stuff happens in life, man. You gotta bounce and keep fucking going, man. But anyway, I want that because I know you run. You still running?
Yeah, I run all the time.
Okay, well, this is the men's health portion of Sands on Sport. We're going to do men's health. So give us some running tips, please, and tell us how you get down on the running.
I don't really have running tips. I don't stretch nearly. I don't really stretch nearly enough. I got one of these these Theraguns. These are fantastic.
Yeah, fuck you. You want to battle?
Yeah.
You want to battle?
Yeah, this is the only weapon I carry. That's a lifesaver. I try to really I just try to be active. Like, I ride my bike a lot, I run a lot. I really enjoy doing shit with my family. So like anything that I could do together with them is just like great. So I'll go for a run. My kid rides his bike. My wife and I, we started doing, I know getting old, like we started doing like long walks, like 20,000 step walks.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it's because it's really fun. So I just try to stay active. Like, I'm trying to lose some weight now, but I got some, I'm 46. Like it just does not go off like it used to.
Hey, to the OG, 46 is young. 46, man. I just got out of high school, bro. You still a baby to me, brother. Still a baby to me, man. Well, hey, check this out, brother. You're gonna hear this sound. I ain't playing around. I gotta hit it. That means we are going out of the first quarter, and we're headed into the second quarter, my brother Mick. Now, heading into the second quarter, we're gonna talk about these NBA playoffs because your boys is going to the finals and they're going against Dallas. And so, what do you expect, man? Because honestly, this is why you're ill. Because while you were DJing in Cleveland, that's when Kyrie showed up. True?
No.
Okay.
I left Cleveland in 2008. I left before LeBron left, and I left I left way before all that. Kyrie came in obviously like the mid 2010s.
Okay. Well, me, I love Kyrie Irving's game. I mean, it's one of the funnest games to watch. And honestly, he could be more of a dog, but he has Luka. He has Luka. So it's like he takes advantage when it's his time, but he doesn't force anything. But when he gets you on the rope, though, oh man, Kyrie, I saw Kyrie at the Hip Hop 50 Karis went through in the Bronx outside Sedgwick's. He's just walking around. I'm looking like, first of all, Kyrie's only an inch taller than me, killing these dudes. Tyree ain't tall at all for real, and he didn't have a bodyguard. I'm just like, whoa. Kyrie, he's a man of the people. Kyrie was just walking through hip hop, and yeah, he's the man. So I'm excited to see what he does. And Luka, I think that I think who's the point guard you guys have? I love him too. He had to steal.
Oh, Drew Holiday.
I think Drew Holiday's gonna be able to do some work on Luka. I think he's shorter, of course, but I think that he's. What do you think? Who do you think? What do you think about the series? Forget what I think. What do you think?
On Celtics Mavs. I mean, you don't think Minnesota's gonna win 4 more in a row?
No, it's Mavs. So.
I think they might get 1. I guess we'll see. I'm disappointed
in the Timberwolves. I'm disappointed in the Timberwolves. I thought they were going to have a bigger fight. I thought it's really the big men. Like I love Bomani Jones calls them 14 feet of nothing because that's exactly what you know what I mean. Like dude, I see the dog in Anthony Edwards. I see that he is a dog, but you can't guard Kyrie Irving and then be expected to perform on the offensive end. So you need some help. Carl Anthony Catman, them damn threes, them damn.
He needs to stop shooting those threes.
Oh man, yo. Yeah, man. So it's just disappointing. So I'm just actually mentally moving on. There is a game tonight, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a game tonight, but I'm just moving on. And matter of fact, I'm not probably won't have another podcast until like the middle of the series. So I'm gonna talk about it now. But yeah, man, I think maybe they put Brown. I don't know. Maybe they put Brown on Luka. What do you think?
I mean, it's gonna be really interesting. I think, Brown and Tatum, they can switch off on Luka.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Brown's maybe a little shorter than Tatum, I think. But I just think and if Porzingis comes back, it looks really good for us. It's not going to be a sweep though.
Yeah.
But I just think also we have a little bit more experience in those sort of games. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be awesome regardless. And watching Kyrie, this again, I hate to predict things before they happen, but watching Kyrie come back into the Boston TD Garden is going to be hilariously amazing.
Yeah. He had a rough, would you call it a rough stint with the Celtics, or was he injured a lot? What happened with the Celtics?
I think he was injured a lot, but then he just left. He said he was going to stay, and then he left.
Yeah, he didn't get along with the players. I don't think he messed with the players at that.
I mean, all the players mentioned that they loved him when he was there, but I just think I don't think he ingrained himself with the community for a bunch of reasons. But I think that he just Kyrie does Kyrie things, but he seems like he's in the best place he's ever been in his whole career.
Yeah,
I always laugh. I laughed because I read something the other day where it was LeBron's dream lineup on the Lakers for next year if he would be Tyronn Lue as the coach and Kyrie as his point guard, and I was just guys, I don't know how to tell it. You had this. Everybody had that.
Yeah. Well, again, I'll be very excited to see all that, man, because after the basketball's over, after the NBA's over, it's going to be golf and baseball and a little bit of tennis. That's all it's going to be left until OT. They just had OTAs in football, but really, man, we're not in football until August. So you know what I mean. But as I mentioned, we are in the baseball season. We're going into halftime. Real quick. Let's look, because we're in the same. Let me see. MLB. Blah 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 blah. Okay. The Mets not doing too good, so they hopefully they win against the Diamondbacks. And my Buccos, they just won a series against the Atlanta Braves. Nice. One of the top teams in MLB. When I play MLB the show, somebody's always picking Atlanta, and they're always hitting home runs, and I'm turning off the game because I don't want to finish it. But anyway, we're going to the end of halftime, going into the third quarter. Starting the third quarter, my brother, I wanted to ask you real quick about the MC playoffs. How did you enjoy the MC playoffs? We had
That's funny.
Drake, we had Kendrick, we had Rick Ross. We got the game trying to sneak his way up in there, and because you're at the age where you have experienced battles. I'm sure you even remember the LL Cool Mo D battle. I'm sure you.
Right.
Know what I mean,
I remember reading about it right when I started getting it, but it was only 5 years removed for me when that was happening. But having been heavy in the clubs, heavy on the radio, and heavy in mixtapes during the Nas J battle, that was a fun time, And then even 10 years ago, I was heavy in the clubs here in New York during the Drake Meek battle when those records are coming out, and so it was interesting. But this is obviously the first time in hip hop we've ever experienced anything that only played out basically on social media with links.
Yeah.
Like, people were dropping new records before you could even play them in a club or on the radio. It was just a different sort of like, expeditedness to this whole situation. I think that like in the end Kendrick did win, and I think like he had his like victory lap with the Not Like Us record. I still go on record as saying I think Drake is like a fantastic rapper, and I think I've never understood. I mean, I get why he gets so much hate, because he's sometimes he does corny things, and he makes music for everybody at this point, and he makes every genre and whatever. But the thing is, like when he does that, they're always hits. Like it's not like he makes these things and then they flop. Like he makes them, even when he did that house record like 2 or 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden like African house was like the biggest thing in the fucking world a year later, and it's just like he was just early on that. But I've always appreciated, because I know like the cloth he was cut from, as far as like loving Little Brother and loving Dilla, and knowing all that stuff. And I know the type of mixtapes he listened to way back in the day. He actually used to listen to the mixtape I did with Little Brother like many moons ago, as when he was coming up. And he's referenced that like in interviews. So like when I hear those Drake albums and I hear the songs I don't like, I always just fast forward to the 9 p.m.s and the 7 a.m.s and the 4 p.m.s and like all of those records. And even his last album, he put out that second disc of it with all like the bars type songs. So I do get frustrated in this battle when people were like, he's not a great rapper. Like he is a great rapper. He just does all this other shit. And I think if he only made rap songs, people would take him more seriously as a rapper. But like, I think in a vacuum, a Drake song that's barred up is no different than anybody else's song that's barred up. And it's just like, it's weird. It's really strange to me that people don't see that, because they put so much hate in. But it's also similar to sports, right? Like I don't really want Kyrie to win a championship because I thought he left Boston in a fucked up way.
Yeah.
I don't know that man. I hope he. I mean, I hope he, man to man. I hope he does. I hope everybody wins a championship. And then he came to Brooklyn and he did the same thing here where I live. So like I'm kind of just like, hey, like you ruined the two teams that are like, in my sphere. But at the same time, like, do I really not want him to win? No. I hope he has the greatest life ever. Like, I hope his family's the greatest. I hope he makes millions of dollars, and I hope he's healthy and has the best career ever. But sports colors your perception as far as like, allegiances and stuff like that. And so sometimes it's tough to separate fandom and media and all that stuff from the actual like human being facts of it all. And the facts of it all is like, I thought he did the Celtics dirty. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. He's fucking incredible. So like you can, but like I still look at it kind of like, you know what I mean? and so that's the same way I kind of like look at this, right? And even if you want to look at like the regionalized version of like how Kendrick won with a home team anthem. And so if you think about that, like that's so similar to sports, right? Like, it's like he won the 7th game at home. That's what that's kind of what it felt like when you have a game 7 and it's at home, like you have a home team advantage. So I think like that's kind of a lot of what this reminded me of. It's just like, sports is like outside of the 2 hours we watch the game, the way we consume sports now is on social media and First Take and all that shit, and it's all about just like hot takes and controversy, and that fuels the cycle, and that's what keeps us going. And that was the same thing that happened with this battle, except for instead of like Stephen A. Smith, we had like fucking academics. But I don't think it doesn't take. You shouldn't like 2 teams make the finals. I don't give a fuck if I like all the players or not. Like those 2 teams are incredible. Those teams should be like celebrated for like what they are. And when I'm watching the game, I should be mad about it. But like besides that, like I should like let's celebrate this amazingness of sports talent that's in front of us, regardless of what color their jersey is. And I think that's the same thing with this battle in particular. I think we should just celebrate the art form of it and not overly celebrate like the hot take aspect of it.
Yeah, the fandom is like me. I feel like I was the old head in the bar, about to watch these 2 young dudes fight. I don't really know them too well at all, you know what I mean? But they about to go at it, so I didn't have any side for real. I like when I heard Drake's second verse on Family Matters, I said, "Oh, this is over, man." He said Miranda rights, Rick. Cause Drake can flow, man. You know I flow, man. Drake can flow. I don't know. The only thing that. And it doesn't bother me, but it just is in my head. Is like, damn, did he write that? Did somebody write? That's the only thing I kind of just twitches me. Did he write that? But honestly, man, sounds great. So I so I didn't have a dog in the race, but you're right. When he dropped that "They Ain't Like Us" or "We Ain't Like," or whatever the hell that song is called, I felt like the Lakers one day was gonna put a Magic Johnson trophy statue out in front of the Forum.
Right.
It took that shit back, man. And I think about it because it's like the first battles, like Busy Bee and from Wild Style. Those were battles you had to have a cassette tape. As far as how battles are being distributed, first you had to have that cassette tape. If you weren't at that party, you didn't hear that battle unless you had that cassette tape. Then it kind of went from we're going to do songs on the album now, and DJs are going to play DJ's going to drop the new Roxanne disc, or going to drop the new LL disc record on WBLS or whatever the hell's going on. But now it's like, okay, like you said, Kai Senate and Academics are the ones dropping the disc record. So it's just it seems like the music is going with the technology. That's one thing I've noticed is that music. Matter of fact, music. Do you think music is leading or part of the forefront of technology?
I think music is part of it, man.
Yeah.
I think music is like, I think it's, they go hand in hand, because like, obviously, first of all, the reason we can make so much music now is because of technology. The reason we can play so much music now is because of technology. So I think it only makes sense that the way we distribute and internalize and react to music is also via technology. It's just like, the car can only go as fast as the road allows you to go, and like the road's allowing you to go faster now, so the car just has to go faster. So that's totally fine to me. The only thing I'll say about that is, and I love every aspect of that. Now, I love the fact that I could listen to all my slow lane music on a fast lane highway. It's like amazing being able to like skim through fucking I've been on this Eric Sermon bender recently, where I've just been going through listening to every EPMD album and every Eric Sermon compilation, and Keith Murray and Jamal and all that. Like, it's just like, there was so much stuff I missed the first time around that I skipped over, like, and I'm just like, wow, like there was a Headbanger remix. I didn't know that. Like, this like crazy nerd level shit. That's the shit I do when I can't sleep. It drives my wife nuts. She's like, what are you looking up? And it's so I'll say that, I just I don't even know where I'm going with this, with your question, but like, I just think that like, I loved how, I just wish we had a little bit longer. I say all that to say, I just wish you could edit this if you need to. I just wish we had a little bit longer to internalize the shit that comes out, because the road is moving so fast and the car is moving so fast, which benefits us in so many ways. But like we had to sit with Takeover for a month. We had to sit with Ether for a month.
Yeah.
Some of us had to buy the CD at the store and pay $17 for the privilege of hearing Takeover. And I just think when you sit with something for a month, we can really determine if it's like great. You can say good or bad pretty much by listening to it, but things become great if they become timeless. And if people still reference Takeover and Ether now, because I think people had so much time to sit with it, Yeah. And I would also say that like, there were so many things. I was watching, people forget that like Pete Rock produced Common's The Bitch in You. I knew that. I had this debate with my friend this morning, and because Common and Pete Rock were on Drink Champs, and they didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And I knew that, but like, because I had the 12-inch, and I just think like the average consumer who knew that song, which is to me a top 5 disc record of all time, maybe top 3 disc record of all time, honestly, like it was it was incredible. And the fact that those guys are uniting and doing an album now 20 years later, like Common and P-Rock, is pretty exciting. But that also leads to like, we can go real nerd with it. Like, if you produce a diss track for somebody, are you now, and you know that they're going to do a diss track on it, like, are you complicit in that diss?
Fucking right.
Because Alchemist did some amazing stuff recently for Drake on those bonus songs, I think, and then for him to produce one of the Kendrick records, I thought was really interesting. And so like, I just think like, if you sell a beat to somebody then they do a diss, I don't think you're complicit in it. But if you know they're gonna...
how producers move like a fine bitch. They, you know what I mean? So that's how producers move. Producers go just because Alchemist makes beats that look like a fine bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. She walk in the room, she gonna get everybody's attention, regardless of who she did. She done pissed you off, whatever. I still want to take her out. I know she went out with Kendrick last night, but boy, did you see that dress and woo woo woo? Oh man, give me some of them beats, Alchemist.
That's fun. Yeah, I mean, it is what
so,
it is, right? But
can't have too much pride. You can't. I think that's a lot with society and myself. Ego and pride, man. Swallowing your pride will open so many doors. We're just like, man, you know what? This fight is not worth it, man. Let me just give in. Let them have what they want. I'm still gonna get what I want and move on. If that's gonna happen, then why is there a problem? So I just hope ego and pride doesn't stop Drake from working with Alchemist or the one boy DJ Mustard. Mustard can make. Can you imagine Mustard and Drake?
so many.
Yeah.
I mean, but they have shit. Like
Okay.
you know.
No, I don't know. So like I said, I like Drake and all, but man, I'm bumping around listening to. Hey, I want to ask you about. You were listening to EPMD. Did you fast forward too much to drink, or did you listen to it?
Did I what?
We did it, Holmes. You had too much to did that little house joint. EPMD always used to have a house joint on their albums that the label made them do, and I always fast forwarded them joints.
Oh, I never really fast forwarded on when I would listen to stuff like in high school. I kind of gave myself like a no fast forward policy because I wanted to like really appreciate. I mean, maybe not on the first listen. I'd want to hear but like I grew to love artists because I listened to the whole albums, and I remember like. I'll give you an example. I mean, if we're going like deep subterranean nerd level with this shit. Like, I remember when like Grand Puba left Brand Nubian, and then the album with the In God We Trust album with Pump Jump Up came out, and I love that single, and I love the Diamond D remix, and I had the cassette single. Then I bought the album, and I was like, oh, this is not quite like the single, you know, and I would just listen to like that, and I would listen to like Love Me or Leave Me Alone, and the album I didn't really get. Also, I was just like a Catholic kid in Youngstown, Ohio, and it was super pro, you know. Yeah, it was just like I didn't know what the fuck. It was like a foreign language, but like I distinctively remember like doing homework, and I would just put you know, that album on for hours at a time, and I grew to love that album. Same with their third album, the Everything Is Everything album, like same thing. And so like it goes to what I was saying with the you know the take over either thing. I think you just gotta like listen to stuff for a while and really determine if you think it's good or not.
Yeah. I think another song I used to fast forward. I Need Love. I just like when I'm listening to Ella album and I Need Love came on. I fast forward and then like I Need Love.
Yeah, no, but now if you heard that at a barbecue, you'd probably be happy. But it's interesting. I agree with you though. Also, like, you know, when you're on the artist side of hip hop, even though we just went through the whole thing about me not being an artist, I mean, as a DJ, like, you know, I hear more records than most people, and you as a MC, you do as well. And it's just like you kind of have a little inside baseball knowledge on somebody's things. So like, if I'm a consumer and I've heard the single Too Much. I mean, goddamn, imagine being a DJ. How do we feel? Like, you know, like we're the ones responsible for you hearing the single Too Much. So when consumers and the audience get tired of a song, like I can guarantee you DJs were tired of it 6 months before that, but we were playing it because we were waiting for the you know, the general public to catch up. So that's just kind of, I've always felt like that in a way too. I also always had the bringing of like, especially when I started really listening to albums more, to the point I just referenced to you, I started really appreciating the art of the deeper cut, and started buying the cassette maxi singles and the CD singles, and then ultimately started getting like the vinyl 12 inches so I can get the cool remixes that nobody had, and the European version that nobody had, and the B-sides, like, you know, and those to me, and I think that kind of like informed my mindset as a DJ, especially as I became like a mixtape DJ. Like I wanted to collect all of those things that nobody ever heard and play those.
I can dig that, man. That's dope, brother. That's dope, man. Well, again, we both agree Kendrick won, and I think the only song from this battle that's going to survive as far as people playing it is that They Not Like Us. I think that's going to, but you know, I was talking to Rashad. I was talking to Rashad. I was up in Ohio talking to Rashad, and he was like, nah, it might be corny if he keeps on pushing that. I'm like, man, they like a remix, they like a video, they gonna crip walk to this thing all
I don't
summer.
think so. I think it's gonna die. I think in a year from now those guys are gonna do a song. Like I think it's just like,
They better.
I think everyone's gonna forget about all this and be happy
Yeah.
and kumbaya
Yeah.
again
At the end
really
of the game,
soon.
again, at the end of the day, it was an ego. It was a pissing contest at the end of the day. And I think, like I said, it's cool because it's TMZ wise, but like people was hard on Questlove. I ain't give a fuck what that Questlove said, but again, maybe we could be doing other things. Like it might sound corny, but I was listening to Joe Budden podcast, and he said he was at a party, and somebody came up to him and was asking about doing, man, we need a "We Are the World" song, but hey, guess what? Maybe that might not be bad. A new self-destruction. My old head was asking about, hey man, how come I don't do a so maybe Kendrick and Drake can link up for something positive like that, or they make something for women to twerk to. I don't know, but I think unity, especially for us, it's definitely the best method of pushing this culture
I
forward.
mean, they're not twerking to the Lone Catalyst records. What's up?
Brother, they're twerking in jail. They're twerking in jail. That bullshit, man. Well, hey, check it out, man. We are out of the third quarter and gonna take it home in fourth. And I wanted to ask you, my brother, because we kind of talked about it, but I kind of want to go into it deeper because it's more than just Drake and Kendrick. There's thousands of artists coming out with music this year, this summer, this whatever. And do DJs still break like is it like I'm Funkmaster Flex, here's the new Ja Rule world premiere, and then it just breaks it and takes off from there? Does that happen anymore?
It doesn't happen in my world. I'm sure I think it happens more like in a macro sense or maybe a micro sense where like if you have certain DJs that you love, like that they're playing certain genres of music that you love, you're discovering things on their SoundClouds or even their Spotify playlists because you trust their ear. So
Yeah.
I think DJs aren't breaking things to the point that they're playing it and they're the only one that has it. I think everyone's getting the shit at the same time, but I think they're breaking it from a curational standpoint of
Okay.
like, oh yeah, like because there's so much shit that comes out, you're relying on a DJ to tell you that these 20 things that came out this week are actually good, or you should focus on these, or I'm going to put something new on this playlist of other songs that you already know these artists. So I think it is still happening for sure. I don't think it's happening in the sense of Funkmaster Flex dropping bombs and the world stops, because there's just no reason for that.
Yeah.
Can't tell you the last time I listened to a terrestrial radio station
Yeah.
at all. And if I have, it's watch a YouTube clip of it, And so like, but I don't think the importance of the DJ has deviated. I just think the method of it has changed.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: Do you think more artists are breaking the records just from social media platforms? Like, hey, if I got a record,
Totally. I mean, we just saw that with the thing that just happened. But they were even breaking them faster because they were uploading right to YouTube rather than skipping the Spotify's and the Apples originally, just because you could just get it up faster.
Yeah.
But I think that like that doesn't work for everybody. That works if you're Michael Jackson and Prince, but it doesn't work if you're, a new artist. Yeah, I mean, to your point, like you have a dedicated fan base from like 30 years of this. So like, your fans are gonna find your stuff, but like at the same time, like you gotta, if a A-level tastemaker person co-signed your shit, it's still gonna pull you up.
Yeah.
Like if somebody did that to like a Drake or a Kendrick or like, it's like how far are they gonna pull it up? Like a millimeter, for somebody like you, even though you've had a credible fan base for 30 years that have enabled you to sustain a career. And think of all the bro, I know all the records I played on college radio because you guys were one of them. And I can't tell you, half that shit, first of all, half that shit's not even on streaming. I can't even find it. Yeah. Like, and I know 90% of those people aren't making music anymore or doing anything creative anymore. And so just, when people are able to find their core fan base and their niche, and especially through the independent hip hop worlds that we all came from, and live a life based off of like creating for decades, it doesn't matter if you have like, like 500 or 1,000 core fans or a million, like you won.
Yeah.
Because you're able to, like, if you put shit out, like, people who fucked with you for 20 or 30 years are still gonna listen to it. That's like such a blessing. Like in the people that you do songs with, same kind of thing. And you know, it's just like, that's rare. I have folders. I have to actually go on YouTube to make playlists of the old shit I used to play on my college radio shows, because none of it's on streaming.
Yeah.
Like, it was so, like, nobody even cared to put that shit on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, salute to you guys for, still keeping it going.
A lot of it, like I always tell people, I used to cry. Like, oh, I want a record deal. But the fact of me not getting a record deal, like a major record deal, like a lot of dudes had deals, or their songs are tied up. They don't even have ownership of it. Like the stuff that came out in 96, 97. So they might not even have the masters. Like a lot of dudes don't even have an MP3 of their song, because it was just a vinyl single only, you know what I mean? So it's just a lot of situations that I look back like, I kind of wanted that. I was thirsty for it, but I'm glad, like you said, I'm glad it didn't happen, man. Because if it would have happened, maybe I wouldn't be able to manipulate my music like I do now. Like now, I had to learn the minor leagues. I had to learn how to play barnstorming baseball. You know what I'm saying? But now, hey, the minor leagues, a lot of people in the minor leagues now playing. So I've been a vet. I'm not Michael Jordan coming for 1 year. I've been in this motherfucking minor leagues 30 years, hitting 300.
That's true, though. That's right.
No doubt. So, are you doing summertime this year?
No, we stopped those. We stopped those right before the pandemic, and we came back and did one more during the pandemic, the victory lap of those.
Okay.
Yeah, because we did 10 or 11 of them. Like, it just got to the point where it's just like, we were running out of songs. Like, I mean, you think like 40, 50 songs times 11 of them, I think we did. That's like 500 songs. Like, and it's not that there are songs, but like when you have like limited things to like choose from, it's just like we did every classic you could imagine is on one of those, and then we started going to like B-sides and rarities and samples, but like also it's just like, and then sometimes I think it was like weird that like we were able to start put like 2010 music on them in 2020, and it was just like, it just felt weird, like it's just like, it didn't feel like. So I think they should just live as the time capsule of what they are, and kind of keep them like that. Not to say it won't ever happen in the future, maybe it will, but like let's give it some more space, because like also the whole point was like they were supposed to be classic timeless music. So something that was classic at timeless then is still going to be classic at timeless now. If anything, more so, because we're 5, 10, 15 years removed from that. Well,
Mr. Independent Record Game, let me tell you something. Box sets, vinyl, all that. Like that's one thing where I'm at, man. It's like I'm trying to repackage shit I put out in 1999. I'm trying to find creative ways to put that, and because it can still be sold. So yeah, man, maybe a summertime vinyl box set or something like that. You know what I mean? For the people that go crazy about. You never know.
That's a Jeff question. I'm just happy to be part of it.
I can dig it, man. Well, check this out, man. You're part of Sam's on Sports, and that's the end of the fourth quarter, and we out of here, man. But you're a Celtics fan, and I know you felt this, man, because RIP Bill Walton, that happened yesterday, right? So
yeah,
just real quick, my Bill Walton story. I got into basketball probably around with Jordan. I was a Dr. J fan, didn't really watch basketball, Kareem fan, because those were the guys, Dr. J and Kareem. And then Magic Bird, I really didn't know too much about Magic Bird, but when Jordan came, I was into basketball. I was locked in. But so I didn't really see Bill Walton's career, but you hear about how great he was before his knee surgeries with Portland, with UCLA, and then his personality. I think more than his hoop game, I loved his personality, man. He had he had a hey man, we're just gonna live today type attitude, and I always enjoyed that from him. He just seemed like he was for the people, about the people, and yeah, man, he's gonna be missed, man. So R.I.P. Bill Walton, and I know you got a Celtic story about Bill Walton or something about Bill Walton.
I mean, I just remember I learned about him because I must have been in fourth or fifth grade, and I got this VHS tape called Winning Basketball, and it was Larry Bird. I still have the tape somewhere downstairs. It was Larry Bird and Red Auerbach talking about basketball strategy and plays and shooting drills for like 2 hours. And because there was like no licenses issues back then, he had basically the whole Celtic team in the background helping him run drills and running like talking like, and so like it'd be like Red Auerbach would tell Larry Bird like, all right, run this play, whatever, and Larry Bird would go do this drill and make all these threes. But like the other guys in the background would be like Danny Ainge and Kevin McHale and Bill Walton, because he was on the Celtics for a couple years in the mid '80s, and it was just like, it was crazy. Like that was the first team I had ever watched, and it was the first. It was like it felt like it was like a super stacked team, kind of like this year's team. Like it was 1 through 5, all Hall of Famers, you know. And I was like, holy shit! Like he has. That was, and I just was like, this is crazy. Like who's because I didn't. Bill Walton at that point, I believe, wasn't even playing that much. Like he was just like, he was kind of like at the very much end, but he was in the video, and then I remember like. I only knew the main guys from because they were playing more. He wasn't playing as much. I think and there was no internet. I remember getting like a library book of like basketball players you need to know. And then I read about all the stuff he did like in the 70s and in college and the Trailblazers and all that. And I was like, and then of course, as time went on, you learned that he was like the world's biggest Grateful Dead fan. And he was like all of that stuff. And then of course, all the activism he did. And then I definitely remember him on like the NBC broadcasts. Like in the late 90s, I think that's when he was doing them. And so like, yeah, I mean, anyway, the guy was an icon in everything he did. And it's reading these tributes, it's just like to have people, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen so many nice person tributes, you know, like for somebody like, and I mean, nobody wants to go, but if you go, like at least you to have that much people like in love with who you are at your core is such a blessing.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man. I was actually, when I got the news, I was driving from Ohio to Baltimore, so I was actually on the highway when I got it. So really, honestly, I've only been home a few hours, so I haven't even processed it. I haven't looked at the tributes. I haven't listened. I want to hear what Mike Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser had to say yesterday.
Yeah. Go on the Athletics NBA page. There's a really great article where they interviewed all the little broadcaster dudes and talked about it. It's really dope.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And also, man, R.I.P. to my high school friend Wayne Winslow, passed away. Service this weekend, man. That's one thing, Mick, is that the older you get, the more funerals you go to, my brother. That's not gonna be.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, man, we ain't gonna end it on a somber note. We gonna end it on some good shit. Let everybody know how to get in contact with you, how to find you, all that good stuff, man. Please let the people know.
Sure. My website, very easy, mick.co, mick.co, and Instagram just at mick, mick. And it's just pictures of me and my kid doing cool shit.
Is that .co some Illuminati shit I don't know about, man? What the fuck is .co, man?
.co is like, I mean, a lot of people have .co's. Like,
I don't know, man. It sounds Illuminati.
I wish I was Illuminati. No, it's just like a lot of businesses have .co, a lot of organizations. Like it's just become like a secondary domain. Like just like how people have like .xyz and all those other things now.
Okay.
The guy who had Mick.com won hundreds of thousands of dollars. Mick.co was 500. You know, so it's just like, also I just believe in brevity.
Yeah.
Everything. And I wanted my domain. My domain was like my name's 4 letters. That's 6. That's 2 letters. That's 6 letters. You know, you say Mick.co, you know what it is. Like my Instagram at Mick. Like I had to work really hard to get that, but like I don't want to be like, you know, DJ Mick 9999947 at AOL.CompuServe.yahoo.com. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants that.
Yeah, the real one and only Mick.
keep it simple, you know. But yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I can dig it, man. Well, yo, we're gonna get out of here. My name's Jay Sands. That's Mick. This is Sands on Sports, and we out of here, y'all. Peace. Mick, thank you. Make
sure you have this.
Hey, no, I have one. And also, send me the picture that you would like me to use for your for the cover, man.